We've all been there, right? You get this huge burst of motivation, you feel like you can conquer the world, start a new business, get a six-pack, learn a new language, and then what happens? A few days, maybe a week later, that fire just fizzles out. You're back on the couch, wondering where all that energy went. It feels like your own brain is betraying you. But what if I told you that you've been relying on the wrong system all along? You've been trying to run your life on the brain's equivalent of cheap, sugary candy when what you really need is a steady, reliable power source. That sugary candy is motivation. It's a feeling, an emotion. And like all emotions, it's fleeting. It's a great starter, but it's a terrible sustainer. The reliable power source. That's discipline. Discipline isn't a feeling. It's a system. It's automation. And today, we're diving into the science that proves why building systems, not chasing feelings, is the key to achieving your long-term goals. Let's talk about your brain for a second. We have two key players here, the prefrontal cortex and the basal ganglia. Think of your prefrontal cortex as the CEO of your brain. It's responsible for conscious decision-making, planning, and willpower. When you feel motivated and decide, I'm going to wake up at 5 a.m. and work out, that's your prefrontal cortex in action. It's using a lot of energy to make that new, difficult choice. But here's the catch. The prefrontal cortex gets tired easily. This is a phenomenon known as ego depletion. Every decision you make, from what to wear to whether to hit the snooze button, drains its limited energy reserve. So when you rely purely on motivation, you're constantly forcing your brain's CEO to make hard decisions. It's like asking the CEO to also handle every single customer service call and do all the data entry. It's exhausting, and eventually, it's going to fail. That's why, by the end of a long day, you're much more likely to order pizza than cook that healthy meal you planned. Your willpower is spent. Now, let's meet the other player, the basal ganglia. This part of your brain is like the automation department. It's responsible for habits. It's the reason you can drive to work without consciously thinking about every turn, or brush your teeth on autopilot. The basal ganglia works to conserve mental energy by turning repeated actions into automatic routines. It doesn't require conscious thought or willpower. It just runs. When you see the word discipline, don't think of a drill sergeant shouting at you. Think of it as consciously programming your basal ganglia. You're taking a difficult action and, through repetition, turning it into an effortless habit. This is where the magic happens. You removing the task from the overworked CEO in the prefrontal cortex to the efficient automation department in the basal ganglia. Let's look at the science of habit formation. A famous study from University College London found that it takes, on average, 66 days for a new behavior to become automatic. During this period, you are essentially building a new neural pathway. At first, it's like trying to walk through a dense forest. It requires a lot of effort, and you have to consciously push through the undergrowth. Your prefrontal cortex is working overtime. But every time you repeat the action, you clear that path a little more. After a few weeks, it's a well-trodden trail. After 66 days, it's a paved highway. Your brain no longer needs to think about it. It just follows the path. This is why discipline feels so hard at the beginning. You are literally forging new connections in your brain. You have to push through the initial resistance using what little willpower you have. But here's the beautiful part. Once the habit is formed, it takes more effort not asterisk to do it than to do it. Have you ever felt weird if you missed brushing your teeth? That's your basal ganglia at work. You've automated the process. Discipline is the bridge that gets you from conscious effort to unconscious action. So, how do we practically apply this? Let's stop waiting for motivation to strike and start building systems. The first step is to make it easy. This is based on the principle of activation energy. In chemistry, activation energy is the minimum amount of energy needed to start a reaction. In our lives, it's the effort required to start a task. The higher the activation energy, the more willpower you need. If you want to work out in the morning, don't leave it to chance. The night before, lay out your workout clothes, put your sneakers by the door. Fill up your water bottle. You are lowering the activation energy. When you wake up, you don't have to make a dozen small decisions. The path of least resistance leads directly to your workout. You're not relying on feeling motivated. You're just following the system you set up. This is what author James Clear calls environment design. Shape your environment to make your desired habits the easy choice. Want to read more? Don't hide your book on a shelf. Leave it on your pillow or next to your coffee machine. Want to eat healthier? Don't fill your fridge with junk food. Spend one afternoon a week prepping healthy snacks and meals. Put them at eye level in the fridge. You are making discipline automatic by making the right choice, the most obvious choice. You're essentially tricking your brain into doing the hard thing because you've made it easy. Another powerful scientific concept is implementation intentions, first described by psychologist Peter Galwitzer. This is a fancy way of saying you should make a specific plan. Instead of a vague goal, like "I'll exercise more," create an implementation intention. When it is 5:30 p.m. on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I will go to the gym and follow my workout plan for 45 minutes. This if-then, or when warehouse structure preloads the decision into your brain. When the trigger happens 5:30 p.m. on Monday, your brain doesn't have to debate what to do. The decision is already made. The plan is set. The neural pathway is primed. Studies have shown that people who use implementation intentions are 2 to 3 times more likely to stick with their goals than those who do on T. You're giving your brain a clear, unambiguous command, which makes it much easier for the basal ganglia to take over. So let's piece this all together. Motivation is an unreliable spike of dopamine. It's great for getting you excited, but it's a terrible long-term strategy because it relies on the easily drained prefrontal cortex. Discipline, on the other hand, is the process of building habits. It's about consciously and repeatedly performing an action until it becomes automated by the basal ganglia. This is the path to real, sustainable change. You do this by designing your environment to lower the activation energy for good habits. You make the right things easy and the wrong things hard. You use implementation intentions to create specific, actionable plans that remove the need for in-the-moment decision-making. You're not trying to be a superhero with infinite willpower. You're being an architect, designing a life system where success becomes the default setting. Think about it. The most successful people in any field aren't the most motivated. They're the most disciplined. They don't wake up every single day feeling excited to do the hard work. They wake up and do the work because it's what they do. It's part of their system. Their success isn't a product of random bursts of inspiration. It's the inevitable outcome of their daily, automated habits. So the next time you feel that motivation fade, don't get discouraged. Don't think you failed. Recognize it for what it is, a fleeting emotion. Instead of trying to recapture that feeling, focus on the system. Did you lay out your clothes? Is your plan for tomorrow specific? Did you make the good choice the easy choice? Focus on taking that one small, planned step, and then another the next day. You're not just performing a task. You're building a highway in your brain. You are transforming from someone who needs motivation to someone who runs on discipline. You are building an automated system for success. It's not about being better every day. It's about having a better system every day. That's the real secret, and it's backed by science. Thanks so much for watching. If this video helped you see the difference between motivation and discipline in a new light, hit that like button and subscribe for more content on building better systems for a better life. Let me know in the comments what S1 habit you're retrying to automate right now. See you in the next one.